Ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves, greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Bluedragonfive here.
Jacob Wile, and Mutale.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Hey,
as sorry,
sorry, sorry.
ladies and gentlemen, as we find ourselves in the midst of Disney's big venture into the world of streaming, having started a war in the process, we thought it'd be nice to stay up to date on the ever-growing catalog and rule on what's a must or a bust on Disney Plus.
And tonight we bring you She Hulk Attorney at Law, Episode 2 Superhuman Law.
Yeah, so we're here again. Apologies for the muddled opening. We're a little off schedule tonight, folks. Apologies, but yes, we are joined by our very special guest, Mutale Mwananshiku. Glad to have him here.
Hey, everybody.
So we've
Good
just
to be
started
back.
the adventure on She-Hulk. How have you been feeling about the episodes up to this point?
I really like them a lot. I really enjoyed the first episode. I like that we got the origin of how she got her powers, and uh, even though it's very different from what I understand it is in the comics, and I like how with this one we now have a becoming joining the firm representing superhuman people. And I like Tatiana Maslany's She-Hulk. She feels a lot like the character, and I also really enjoyed uh, seeing her family as well as seeing Blonsky, whom we haven't seen since the Incredible Hulk. And yeah, I'm really excited for more. I'm really enjoying the show a lot. Much we have so many shows. It's very difficult now to rank it right now. Probably would have to wait till like more episodes. But
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
I like the show.
yeah. Kind of hard to judge this one. We're only two episodes in out of nine.
Yeah, I know.
Jacob, how did you feel about this week's episode?
I liked it. I mean, it did, had its ups and downs like everything does, I think I think it was probably a step up over last week's episode. I would say.
Yeah, so I think the plot's on track with this week's episode. Here's the thing. Obviously, I'm very anticipatory for She-Hulk for a number of reasons, yeah, the first episode I was liking it, but I did think it kind of languished a little bit with the whole like we gotta touch base on the origin stuff, and mainly we gotta pal around with the Hulk for a bit. Where I think at the very end of the episodes, where okay, there's your premise for your show, She-Hulk courtroom punching punching Titana, like bam, and there's your show. Like okay, so She-Hulk, Jennifer Walters, attorney at law. Like, very nice. That's the show right there. That's what I'm there for. And we kind of had our big I am Iron Man moment, kind of reluctantly so, but we had it. So that's essentially that was the big kind of hook I feel. And this episode is kind of like the next stage of that. So this is kind of a constant thing we have with a lot of the Disney Plus shows, but particularly the Marvel stuff, where it feels like we never have the right number of episodes when we premiere with, where it feels like maybe the first episode should have been longer to include this episode in it, or maybe premiere with two episodes. I mean, that's kind of what I've heard people say, and I'm hard pressed not to agree with it because it's like, yeah, this would have really teed things up for okay. There's your cell. She's a lawyer who's a Hulk, and she's now defending the Abomination. Bum bum bum. Okay.
Yeah, I think I agree with you actually. I think maybe this should have premiered with like two episodes. So I'm not sure what the yeah, either two episodes. I'm not sure what the third one, but yeah, I
If you
think it should
skip,
have just been two episodes and just like with the one because I think WandaVision was premiered with did it premiere with episodes 1 and 2,
Yes,
right?
we got two episodes of WandaVision. Yeah, at the premiere.
Yeah, and then I think Hawkeye did the same thing also.
I'm not sure about Hawkeye, but you might be right. I'm not sure. All I know is they
okay,
premiered enough episodes for it to end at Christmas. So yeah,
Sure, I remember it was episode 1 and 2, but either way, I think for this one, they should have just had like at least two episodes
it's
from the
kind of
get go. So I think, sorry.
it's kind of funny that you're talking about like sort of started with this one because apparently the creators thought otherwise because A lot of the stuff they'd used for episode 1 was originally for episode 8. Like later
Yeah.
on. Later
so-
on.
Yeah.
It sounds like the plan was we were going to just start off full on She-Hulk, and then like down the line we were going to show, okay, here's what was going on with the Hulk, and this is how like she kind of figured things out, perhaps like maybe in a flashback structure. It's unclear.
Yeah. But I think starting with the first episode was a good choice. So it just like gets you like, okay, so it's like, yeah, we find out she's like a Hulk, so it'd been nice to just get it from the first episode. Okay, this is how she became Hulk, and then the rest is just her, being like a lawyer and stuff. But yeah, I think it was a good move for the first episode. But yeah, I think we just should have had the first two episodes come out, so at least that, then we just sort of be prepared and stuff.
Yeah, okay, we have some comments we should read, Jacob.
All right, which one?
Let's start with Aid March, who's greeting us at the top.
Evening, guys. As strange as it is to say, I appreciate how concise the episodes are. The amount of MCU content out there, short and sweet, does the job.
Yeah, we are really straightforward here. Where again, we have like a big plot point. We have kind of a few character beats that precede that big plot point of like, okay, defend the Abomination. Here's how we get there.
The show is decent enough, he says.
Yeah. Again, it's we haven't gone to like kind of the god tier stuff yet, but we are kind of like building. I think we're tracking along. I think we're tracking along the right places.
Episode 2 was better than 1.
It didn't have the forced fight that episode 1 had.
Which I guess that's probably good. Which I guess that's probably a good thing to get that out of the way up front than saving it near the end.
Yes, thanks again, but hopefully we'll serve it well because that's been kind of the kryptonite of all for most of the Disney Plus shows.
I'm waiting for Men to show up, he says.
We all are, Aid March. We all are.
Cinema Arts has a comment saying, in other news, Wolverine's confirmed for the MCU.
Well, that's the thing. We have an Easter egg about Wolverine. And Jacob, did you catch the Wolverine Easter egg?
I didn't actually. I'll explain that to me a bit later. And
okay, sure. We'll put a pin in that. I'll walk you through that later.
Aid March confirms this.
Mm-hmm.
Wolverine versus Hulk incoming.
In a perfect world, yes.
And Romello.
Hey!
Hello, Romello.
Romello.
I like episode 1, but episode 2 is a lot more, and I wish Disney Plus would premiere 2 episodes of She-Hulk every Thursday on stream.
It sounds like we're on the right track here, then.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like every Thursday, but at least for this, I just wish they for like premiere it just was 2 episodes. I don't know if it needs 2 episodes every Thursday, just 1.
Maybe it's the half-hour thing that's kind of making us. It's funny. Like, so rarely do we actually get like even an hour episode because again, all the credits and everything, and we kind of keep trimming these episodes. So,
this episode was 29 minutes, including like the 5 minutes of dubbing
credits.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, even if it's an hour long, they never hour long. They usually like even with credits, like the longest they'll go is maybe 50 minutes.
That's what I'm saying. That's why honestly
I mean, we're not asking for five movies of Stranger Things here.
Yeah, I mean that's honestly probably that's why we keep feeling like we're getting shortchanged with these MCU shows. Like we cut now like our 6-hour movies to like more like 4.5 hours if you're lucky.
So we're not asking for like Stranger Things levels of each episode being 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say a 6-hour show with 6 episodes? Guess what I expect? 6 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Rohit's in the comments.
Hey.
I appreciate Jen's dynamic with their family a lot. Love Jen's dad and Chad in terms of the comedy.
So perhaps we should let's start there. Let's just again, folks. You can kind of direct us in the comments where you want us to kind of talk, or we'll jump around if you'd like. So I guess
Cinema Arts has his own comment regarding this. He wishes Lou Ferrigno was Jen's father, or at least had some cameo in this show.
That would be nice, but we've already given Lou Ferrigno his cameo. And, well, then again, it's cameos the way, obviously you can always give people different cameos, but we gave Lou Ferrigno kind of like a fun character cameo in The Incredible Hulk. So I don't he was a security guard at the...
And didn't he voice the Hulk in Avengers?
Yeah.
Well, he voiced the Hulk in The Incredible Hulk. I think we all assumed Lou Ferrigno was voicing the Hulk in Avengers, but that ultimately turned out to be Ruffalo, I think.
And also, when you say like security guard, was it the Incredible Hulk or was it like the 03 Hulk?
Well, he was a security guard in both. That was the gag. They got him to be a guard.
Okay.
It was him and Stanley as guards in 03, and it was him as like the guard who got bribed with pizza and like, yeah, brother, yeah.
And
Okay, yeah, you're right.
And Stan Lee's cameo in Incredible Hulk was the guy who died from the Hulk's poison,
Yeah.
Hulk's blood.
Yeah, he drank the gamma, kind of the gamma blood infused soda.
Also, one of the teachers from Spider-Man: Homecoming was an Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, so Martin Starr, well, no, I'm sorry, Martin Starr is a different actor, but the point being, the actor who plays Peter's teacher, he is he was at the
At
lab.
university.
Yeah, it's like the computer
Yeah.
lab in the university, which I like to think is just that was him like earning his degree. I like to think that was still him.
Yeah, no, I think that is meant to be him. I think they
Yeah,
confirmed that it's him.
there's nothing saying it can't be him, really.
Yeah. Oh, I guess it's going to Incredible Hulk. What do you think of the joke that Bruce made in this? That I was a different person, literally.
Yeah, so
You could say Fredno is literally a different person.
okay, a couple things. First, okay, let's broach
and
the.
and Rohit says, fun fact: Mark Ruffalo has only started voicing the Hulk since Thor Ragnarok.
Well, I
Oh.
mean, true Rohit, yes, but he did have the puny god line in Avengers.
I think that was actually. I think he's trying to say that was still Ferrigno.
I don't think so. I mean,
If it was Hulk in the '90s cartoons, of what's again in the MCU, Incredible Hulk in Avengers: Age of Ultron. So
I like I don't know, man. I hear that, and I don't know if you listen to that. I like to think you're right. I want it to be Ferrigno. I do in those movies to get more Ferrigno in there. I don't know. I'm thinking it still was Ruffalo. That's I don't know.
all right, we need to move on though.
Yes, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Now,
I mean, we all love Ferrigno, but we need to move on.
Anyway, so my two things. Okay, so before we get to the family point, let's bring up the fourth wall breaking because it kind of got brought up the whole like a different person line. So yes, we continue the track of She-Hulk, of course, predating Deadpool and the fourth wall breaking, and we're doing that really well structurally so far. Like she's walking when she gets the job at GLK and H. She's like kind of ranting to the audience, like everyone's gonna think I got the job because I'm a Hulk, man. That's not fair.
Technically, she probably wouldn't even be the first character to break the fourth wall in comics, period, at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, Joker predates her technically, so but yes.
So it's like she's not the beacon of firstness in that regard either.
Yes.
Neither is Deadpool, though.
True. Yes.
It's
I
like
can't actually wait for. I can't wait for that to happen when she meets Deadpool. They both break the fourth wall.
I would love that for that to happen.
it's
That would be hilarious.
It's like you do it too.
I'd love it to be like love at first sight or something right there. Like, you can see him too. I mean, Deadpool's single now. It could happen.
Yeah, it could happen.
Yeah, she ends up with a lot of people. I don't know. And she meets a lot of people.
Like,
She also meets. She also met Thor as well.
Yep, Thor and the Juggernaut
okay.
and Hercules, who we haven't just introduced. So it's
Yeah,
possible.
so they can happen. Maybe season 2
and of course
or
the
Vengeance.
ending, and of course the ending comment of her episode when she realized that the person she had just chosen to represent has escaped from prison. She's like, this sucks.
Yeah. So of course, as with a lot of this, we have some really fun moments where we have, like her like calling out like the whole like nice or something along, just looking to the audience like he's laughing at like fan service. We acknowledge we changed Hulk actors. Pretty funny.
It's like I feel like a totally different person.
Yeah. It does really beg the question. I imagine like the Marvel Legends little supplemental thing on Disney Plus. They must have added like I'm guessing they added like an episode of Abomination of like to the character roster. The idea like during these Disney Plus shows each week they add like a supplemental thing to Marvel Legends. I don't know if they still do that, but they were doing that for the longest time.
And they can't do it for Hulk, obviously.
Well, that's the thing though. Well, yeah, for Hulk, but the Incredible Hulk, that's the question, because people might go into this, because the Abomination, we kind of covered our bases technically with he pops up in Shang-Chi, which obviously relates to the plot here.
And considering Wong broke him out, it seems.
Yes, yeah, I'm sure Wong's going to face repercussions for that next episode.
The Sorcerer Supreme, everyone.
I would love to think that She-Hulk's going to be in a position to maybe sue the Sorcerer Supreme. That's really funny.
And somehow Daredevil fits into all this.
Oh, eventually, sure.
Oh.
I wonder if they're going to do like different segments, like Like the Abomination will just be part of one arc, or if it's gonna, who knows?
Yeah. But well, seeing some of the TV spots, he's gonna help like elves, I think. And yeah, that's as far as there's gonna be like some supernatural stuff. I'm not sure what exactly is gonna happen, but it may happen.
And these are Rohit's and Cinema Arts' takes on that.
Well, nothing. Yeah, I'm not surprised there's nothing from Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess long story short, I mean, again, I imagine like they could use clips from the Incredible Hulk. They just can't show the movie. I mean, then again, we do have a snippet of Abomination, which kind of covers all we need to know about him, and everything else is just kind of expository, so it's unclear.
Well, they would just probably have to pay Universal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they do own at least part of that, even if they can't like play the whole movie or something. Because I mean, again, it is like Marvel characters, and I don't know. I mean, Marvel Studios is on that movie's name, so there has to be some like kind of breakdown of like how much they can use. Because we have like clips of the Incredible Hulk in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Do you think that Betty Ross will show up? Well, yeah, do you think so?
I mean, they could still theoretically use Liv Tyler. I mean,
Yeah,
they use William Hurt.
yeah. But I don't know. It'd be very nice if she showed up. If we brought back Blonsky, like then she could show up for a cameo.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we've alluded to her, and I believe I forget if Liv Tyler returned to do her own voice in What If or not, but we've kind of had kind of Betty Ross in there somewhere.
I mean, so they can use the characters. They just can't have a solo Hulk movie without it being through Universal.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let's not get bogged.
Kind of like how they do with Sony and Spider-Man, but obviously things are doing better for Spider-Man's side than Hulk.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's not get bogged down too much in the Hulk rights thing as we tend to do.
Yeah, but you should.
Anyway, sorry, so let me try and refocus here. Let's see. So yes, again, our fourth wall breaking is quite fun. How we're kind of calling out stuff like that. And, additionally, I guess the backpedal and then bleed into the family thing. So yeah, this episode is very much the aftermath of kind of Jen's big "I am Iron Man" moment, and we're seeing some legit consequence that she has here. Like for example, I think one of the greatest things I love mundanity and with superheroes. It's why The Incredibles is so perfect. We have a mistrial due to her saving the jury, and it's kind of this fascinating idea of like, well, should I just let the jury get hit and just let people suffer? It's like everyone's like, no, but the DA's office fires her, and you feel so bad for her, and she's basically unemployable because of this. Because people are going to like target her because of this sort of thing, and who knows? Like people are maybe going to hire people to break up trials to win cases. It's a whole like rigmarole. Like she's person non grata.
Basically, so.
But GLK.
But fortune smiles upon her when GLK sets up a superhuman law division and brings her back in division.
Yes, GLK and H. So, by the way, GLK and H is actually a deep cuts kind of comic book thing. So you have Goodman for Martin Goodman, Lieber for I believe Stan Lieber, which is Stan Lee's real name, and you have Kurtzberg, which is Jack Kirby's real name, and Holloway, who I believe I forget what Holloway's. It's something. It's HH. It's something Holloway.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
So Holloway here, that's the Holloway's the old guy that is the name. So the Holloway partner is the one who hires Jen in the episode. So that's Holloway.
Which is funny because he's technically also his firm is technically the one who kind of got her fired in the first place.
Exactly. So they were. She was she was on the DA side going up against them for a superpowered client. That was the whole thing. She was like doing the whole, essentially in a way, she was kind of going about with great power comes great responsibility in her legal argument. You notice that kind of.
It's also kind of funny because like she pretty much immediately accepts his job after questioning. He's just like once she's like, yeah, like the job, yes.
Well, she's desperate. He's the only one that's going to hire her. What is she going to say? No, it's either that or become a superhero, which she doesn't want to do yet.
Yeah, I know, but it's just I'm just saying how it's just still kind of funny.
Yeah, for sure. And also, again, kind of a legal tactic. I'm gonna have her fired so I can nab her. And here's the thing: there's a shady element here, and that's the thing you got to bear in mind. Because I think ultimately where we're heading here by the end of the season will be she'll be starting her own law firm, which She-Hulk does do at times, I'm sure.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean, I'd imagine. I'm assuming She-Hulk's kind of done a little bit of everything over the years, and we have different runs and different writers, and she's always a lawyer, and I imagine she's kind of changed employers. Like at some point, she was part of the DA's office, and then she can't. I'm sure she could be hired privately. Usually, she's the prosecutor. I know that much, but I think that might have changed in subsequent years. Like I think kind of like a by the bootstraps sort of thing. So it would not surprise me if that's where we're going, and perhaps meeting Matt Murdock inspires her to strike it out on her own, like Matt Murdock, perhaps.
So yeah, right to the yeah. She's got 6 figures of law school debt. You could get real desperate and looking for employment law, which yeah, it's true.
And
She does. Yeah.
Speaking of her being jobless, the title even briefly changed to attorney for hire.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Anyway, so by the way, so when Jacob, this is the thing. Here's the Wolverine reference. So when she was looking for jobs, she was on this website, and this website had ads, and on the like headline sort of things. And on the headlines, you had a few MCU kind of nods. Like one, the giant hand and head of the Celestial from Eternals is still there.
Yep.
Far more importantly, a man with claws is in a bar brawl. I think we know who that is.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, that's rather exciting.
It's like, yeah, that just gets me excited for the upcoming Wolverine game.
Yeah, a lot of that going on too.
Yeah,
I haven't heard anything about it since the announcement, but can't wait for that.
Yeah.
Anyway, so. But while she was searching for things before she got the offer, she had a little family dinner with her folks after she had lost her job.
It's like we heard you lost your job. It's like Chad you told me to bring it up. I said not to bring it up.
God. All right,
so it's also funny when they say, "Oh, it's okay. We know you lost your job. We already told everyone, so you don't have to. They already know."
So you don't need to say anything.
So my God, the extended Banner family. In this case, more like the Walters family. Very, very wacky bunch, but in some cases, lovably wacky. I love her father, man. Her father's always been a great character, by the way. Like her father, like in the comics, has been kind of like he was sort of like a sheriff of a small town going after the She-Hulk, who then found out, oh my God, my daughter is the She-Hulk. I remember him most in a different context, where he was, I believe, Stan Lee voiced her father in the animated show, which I loved.
Oh, okay. Cool.
He's always wanted to make cameos.
Yeah. So I've always had a fondness for Jennifer's father. I'd like to think this is purely coincidental, entirely possible. I like to think he has a mustache in tribute to Stan Lee. I'd like to think.
Oh,
because in the comics he did not. Only in the animated show did he have a mustache and was voiced by Stan Lee.
Okay. Well, it's probably just the actor. From which I understand, is apparently some like famous comedic actor. From what I've heard.
I don't think that. Here's the thing. I got a vibe that this guy. I'm pretty sure he looks like him. He looked like Matt Walsh to me, but there's no way that's Matt Walsh. Can't be.
Okay.
Unless someone wants to look it up in the comments or something. I don't like who. If one wants to tell us who that. Okay, Jen's dad is played by Mark Lynn Baker, who played Larry of Perfect Strangers. So, there you go, Perfect Strangers.
There we go.
All right, you're solved.
And of course, when things got too hectic and everybody asking her questions and doing all that, I was almost expecting her to make a fourth wall break at that point, but he couldn't. Her dad called her always like, that was just an excuse to get you away from them.
How you doing, kiddo? I love just that whole "How you doing, kiddo." Morris is such a great character. I can't wait to get more of this guy.
Cinema Arts has a little comment here.
Yeah, I was surprised. Yeah, I was somewhat surprised as well. They didn't talk about him.
The biggest thing I think the show has going against it, and this is in the first step. This is in the first episode as well. Not as distracting as like the whole random superhero fight, just for reasons like it's a disagreement, but no, they have to punch each other because it's an action show. The biggest thing kind of stood out to me is like our introduction of She-Hulk is a little bumpy in that, hey, we don't acknowledge like how hey, he has a cousin all of a sudden we never talked about for God knows how many movies.
That's true. Yeah.
Now-
that's true.
And now she basically borderline invalidates all the trauma he's gone through in his entire life.
Yeah, which did not bode well in her introductory episode. So her Hulk stuff was the bumpy ride of that first episode. Now, something that occurs to me that would have fixed all that, by the way, or at least most of that, was if we made it a character point of like when she's introduced, she says, "I'm glad you reached out after the blip. I'm sure you must have been really lonely." I think that would have massaged things out a little bit, don't you?
Probably a little.
Just at least would have given her more of a reason to be there. Like, I know you were on the run for so many years, and you just kind of moved on. You didn't I think basically, if maybe the Hulk said, "I'm reaching out to family after everything I went through, after losing Natasha and Tony and everything. I don't want to sever my bonds anymore." I don't know. I'm in a good place.
I mean,
Yeah.
I know a lot of these shows operate under a show don't tell, but they didn't even really show that.
That's a thing. Like that I don't know, I think that would have been a good character reason to explain why She-Hulk.
and also make it like a character flaw as to why she tries to basically invalidate Hulk's trauma too.
Yeah.
But instead, it's just like, oh no, she's right. She's kind of right.
And again, Cinema Arts speculates, Bruce Child might have been a little too dark for this series. Oh yeah, for sure. If we do the whole abusive father thing, and that whole
Because even the comics, she was attacked by the mob, and even then they also said that wouldn't have fit with the show, so they probably wouldn't have had Bruce's childhood.
Yeah.
But still, just come to it kind of made her not come across as sympathetic as people were hoping, probably as they were hoping, probably.
So admittedly, it is kind of a buy that, man, Bruce Banner has a really wacky family. I never would have pegged him for that. With like one of these, like I don't know if it's the mother or the father who's related to his side of the family or not, but yeah.
And I've had second episode start getting a bit of comeuppance. That is a kind of a good. Bruce even mentions floating a little bit.
Yeah.
I mean that is fair. Again, that's probably a good thing that they moved that to the front of the series, but that also comes with its own double-edged sword.
Yeah. So I love the dynamic between her and her father, and I do love at the end, like at the post-credit scene where he's kind of using her as a workhorse. Yeah, well, yeah. What it read as more to me, it's less him using her. It's more her like, oh, let me help my parents now that I'm super strong, and my I don't know if it's her brother or not, like the Ched. I don't know if Ched's her brother, like cousin or something.
I think it's her brother.
Well, let's just assume it's her brother. Like, her idiot brother is like, okay, let me help him hook up the TV or change the tire because the brother's an idiot.
I mean, he's obviously capable worker because he's a manager at Best Buy. So
I was about to say, but apparently everything else, though, it sounds like to me he kind of lucked into it might be a laid back Best Buy at this location specifically because the guy can't hook up the TV.
It's like, well, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Regardless, I do love the whole don't touch any of these wires. I love that bit. Anyway, so
carrying all the water jugs.
That's hilarious. Yeah, look at that. It's staying hydrated, but this is a bit much.
I mean, I don't think you need 10 bottles of water.
Oh no, it's the logic of like, well, if I'm gonna have her here, she might as well get them all.
It's like you don't need that many in your house at once. Here we are having a water cooler conversation.
Yeah, one could say.
Ched's her cousin.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, because
he
had that line. He said Uncle Mel. Now, like one of those, he said Uncle Mel, but I don't know if Mel was even short for Maurice or Mel was the other guy with the mustache at the table.
Okay.
All right, we need to discuss. Yes. I mean, her family is interesting, but we're gonna be here all night if we talk about her family.
You're right. Okay, so there's not a whole lot left. The big thing, two things we should talk about, though. Well, I guess more so.
Sorry, just to say one thing. Rohit says Bruce may have been taken away from his abusive dad and grew up with Jen and her family. Explain why they have a very brother-sister relationship as cousins. Yeah, I was also thinking that too.
I mean, we kind of picked it up on the last episode as well. Like considering like the whole like air horn things, like for comedy purposes, absolutely. I was like, yeah, Dragon and I even discussed that. It's like they're more like brother and sister than cousins.
Yeah, I mean that'd be good logic. I guess whenever we're going to broach on that, or it's just going to be speculatory. Like again, personal headcanon is where Rohit puts it. So I don't know.
Yeah, personal. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. I hope they flesh it out. It would be really nice.
Yeah.
All right, so Jen at the workplace. So one, I'm really thrilled with how we found a way, because I was worried if this is going to be part of the show. Like, okay, are we not going to be able to have like are we going to have to build to the classic her in court as not that I was not looking forward to eventually. However, we got there, I'm fine with it, because like in the first episode we had a She-Hulk in the courtroom, which I'm glad we had instead of building up episodes 4. But I was wondering, okay, when are we just going to have like officially in the courtroom as She-Hulk? So we had a really good logic here of like, okay.
It's kind of strange that the writers confirm they don't know how to write a legal drama.
Yeah, but then again, you look at a show like Better Call Saul, and Better Call Saul is the idea like they tried to, okay, let's not do the scene that's been done in every other courtroom thing ever. We're going to show a lawyer in every other capacity that matters instead of like 12 people in a jury box, impassioned speech. Like, we're not going to do everything but that.
Mm-hmm.
And they went really far with that, so it's not a kiss of death, but it's really weird they would admit that when it's like, hey, legal show.
Yeah.
Regardless, but that's the thing though. So again, we have She-Hulk in the courtroom. Basically, we have points. We have She-Hulk at work in the lawyer get-up and everything as a PR thing, which I thought was a really good move.
And it has windows.
Yes, it's got windows and mini fridges and everything.
And a desk.
Yes. Now that's the thing. So I love that. It's kind of.
And I like Pug.
We'll get the Pug in 1 second. Just let me. So the thing, I love we have a legit story reason for her to be She-Hulk all the time at work, which gives us the classic iconography. But also, there's a shady aspect added to all this, which I really appreciate. There's kind of a loophole in, kind of a parable for almost sexism at work, in that she is being exploited here, and she is, and it's again, there's always been a kind of a relationship between sexism and She-Hulk, and she's always kind of made fun of that in the comic with the meta fourth wall thing, like the whole jump rope and naked thing, and like the stuff that she's done in the comics, like on the covers and like the supermodel kind of covers.
Yeah.
So I love that here. It's sort of like we found a really classy way of doing it here, where it's like, part of your agreement for working here is you have to be She-Hulk because you're the mascot for the Superhuman law thing, and we need you to be and you're superhuman. So again, it's kind of exploitative of her in that regard. And I like that there's like kind of something a little uncomfortable about that, and it makes me think that GLK&H will not be a permanent fixture for her. I'm getting the vibe. This is going to backfire on her.
Probably.
And the other reason they need her in She-Hulk form, the other reason they've hired her, most assumedly, is less for her big dazzling debut and her legal prowess, but more so for the fact they have this Abomination case coming up, and either now or beforehand, Abomination requested Jennifer Walters as her lawyer, at the very least after post She-Hulk. So that's the other reason I'm pretty sure he hired her, for this one controversial case in which we need a real slam dunk.
Publicity stunt.
Exactly, we need publicity stunts. That's what it seems. So anyways, yeah. So we're starting to get more of She-Hulk's supporting cast now. This character is from the comics. He's from the comics. His name is Pug, and he's played by, I believe, Josh Segura is his name, and he is from Arrow.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Like from one universe to another.
Yeah, he played the bad guy Prometheus in the 5th season of Arrow.
Is that one of the good seasons?
Well, let me put it this way: they could have gone home at season 5, and at least they would have broke even. Everything goes down after season 2, but 5 they picked up some steam. Like, hey, we have a little bit of good stuff here.
Well, you know how it is with the CU. Basically, if you're not the Flash or Arrow, you're basically kind of downhill from the start.
Yeah. Yep. Anyway. So yeah, it's fun. I've seen Segura in other things, and he kind of plays like the nice guy here, and he's playing it here. And this character in the comics does have a bit of a crush on She-Hulk, so I wonder if we're going to do something here, like make him a love interest.
He just seems like a nice guy.
He does.
He brought her the gift basket and gave her the right place to poop and all that.
Yep, gave her a little cheat sheet of the office, like yeah.
Which we even see on the map in the credits.
Sorry, let's do something. What do you guys think of her friend Nikki? Because from what I said, she's not in the comics, so she's just...
Yeah, that's the thing. She-Hulk, many times in all like kind of these new runs of the comics, they kind of give her like a new status quo of like legal besties and like paralegals and supporting characters. So Pug's like the only... Pug, I believe, is from the Dan Slott run. I don't know if he was there before that, but he was definitely in there for that run. So they're probably picking and choosing, and Nikki feels like a modern ad. Like we just give her like new supporting characters. So Nikki's probably his original for the show, but inspired by his kind of we have to give her a best friend.
Okay.
That's probably the logic there.
All right. I do like her. I like their friendship. They seem like best friends.
I don't know her name offhand, but the actress who plays Nikki, I recognize from the first season of Kidding, Jim Carrey's show, which he plays, kind of a Mr. Rogers type.
Yeah, her name's Ginger Gonzaga. That's it.
Yeah, that's you're right, Ginger Gonzaga. Yeah, that's the one.
Hmm.
Yeah, she's good in this so far. Yeah, it's only 2 episodes, but I've been liking what I've been seeing of her. And Romello makes the point that when Holden Holloway wanted Walters for the job, as She-Hulk on her first day at the office, it reminded him of Teen Wolf, where they want Michael J. Fox's character to be the wolf all the time instead of Michael J. Fox.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
I would not be surprised they drew that influence from there, especially with She-Hulk being an 80s character, technically.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Okay, so let's talk about the Blonsky stuff here. So, it's funny. I don't know if you guys ever knew about this. On the commentary for The Incredible Hulk between Tim Roth and the director, they have a grand old time talking about the movie. And at the end, it's kind of that usual kind of jokey sort of thing of like, would you come back for a sequel? Oh, yeah, I'd love to. And he jokes about basically him coming back as the human version of as Emil Blonsky, who's lost the Abomination thing. So the idea that he could shift between Abomination and Blonsky is kind of like in my heart of hearts, I'd love to think, probably just purely coincident, I'd like to think that commentary actually can maybe inspired him, or maybe Roth put in there like, no, I want to be human who can turn into the Abomination. I want to be able to shift like the Incredible Hulk can.
Maybe.
Again, look, I'm not holding my breath on that one, but I just think it's kind of a very fun coincidence that he was talking about coming back as Blonsky, and ultimately he was able to.
It is nice that he's able to return after 14 years.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, the MC has been going on for 15 years at this point.
Yeah. So,
I was about 12, I was 12 when I think I was 12 or 13 when Iron Man came out.
Yeah, I was I was 11. Yeah, when that also came out. And when Incredible Hulk came out, I thought it was a sequel to the 03 Hulk. Because of the way it plays, you kind of could buy it as like, because it's like Bruce on the run and stuff. So like you could buy it as like a sequel to that movie.
So this is something I want to bring up that Romello thankfully has brought up for us here. It's cool to see Tim Roth as Blonsky in the MCU again. I feel that Blonsky can't be trusted, and his role will be similar to Zemo in Falcon Winter Soldier. So that's
Exactly.
a thing. In our introduction to Blonsky here, he kind of lays out the whole. Essentially, again, for the folks who unfortunately may not be able to watch the Incredible Hulk on Disney Plus, if they haven't already, he recaps it for them. But basically, what happened, but possibly from a skewed perspective, where he does make himself seem a lot more like the victim than he comes off as in that film. Now, mind you, it is kind of a retroactive thing. We're not changing anything. We're just changing the tone in which he's saying things, because the way he played that wonderfully in that movie is he did become essentially a junkie of super soldier serum who wanted more power, which came from gamma, basically the Hulk's gamma radiated blood, which on top of the super soldier serum turned him into the Abomination.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, there's a question. I like that we don't know the answer. Again, everything up to that point, he was a soldier who was raring to be something special like a Captain America and basically be in the body that he had 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now, again, everything that does line up with everything he's saying there, but then Harlem is the question. Like, did he again go on the rampage and everything of his own accord, or was that him being kind of a hopped up junkie who was like punching Bruce Banner and everything we didn't have to?
Mm-hmm.
Ed March has a theory here.
Yes, now this is another thing we need to discuss. So, Aiden March thinks I do still think that Blonsky's pen pal soulmates are an allusion to the Thunderbolts. Now, I think it's one of two things. Soulmates either, in a traditional sense, it's like prison girlfriends. You get all sorts of like the people proposing marriage, like the people who are drawn to serial killers. That sort of crazy kind of bunch.
Mm-hmm.
That's the traditional sense. I'd say if you take soulmates like on its face, that's what that's in reference to. But 7 soulmates is an odd number. Well, in the literal sense, but let's just say it's an odd number in that it sounds like he might be. I don't know why he'd be writing to them, but again, they might be alluding to less. He's writing to pen pals, more like he's been offered to join the Thunderbolts, but he has to get out of there first.
Also, Cinema Art said that in the deleted post-credit scene for the Hulk, he was revealed to be back in human form. Oh, I didn't know that. I did not know that.
I did not know that either.
Wish they left that in.
Yeah. I wish they did as well. Instead of like it's just kind of like, hey, Ross, we're putting the team together.
And Rohit says this.
There is a shot in the recent trailer where there are 7 women behind prison glass wearing flower crowns and white dresses who are observing Jen talking to a person. It might just actually be wives, guys. Maybe we shouldn't get too excited about the Thunderbolts yet.
And it's fun to theorize, though.
Yeah, no, for sure. That's what I'm saying. It's we use pen pals, but then again, the pen pal soulmates thing. I don't know. It does sound like a little bit like it would have been a Thunderbolts thing, but no, I probably should just take it at face value.
All right, but basically she tries to convince them, like, basically tries to say, I'm sorry for almost killing your cousin, by the way.
Nothing personal, following orders. And then again, he was misled, he was manipulated into taking the super soldier serum. Someone was going to take it, wanted it to be him, but again, there's a question, did it make him a junkie that then got power hungry? We'll find out. There is something there, and obviously I'm sure this, with the big reveal at the end of the episode, that the footage leaked from Shang-Chi. So I love that we're explaining all of Shang-Chi in this show, by the way, because we have like, why is Bruce Banner in human form with the device on his arm, and now we've solved the mystery of what's the deal with with that Abomination cage fight. So I'm thinking, obviously we know how he got out. Wong broke him out. The real question is, why the heck did Wong break him out? It's like, how did that friendship start? Was he also a pen pal we didn't talk about?
And Rohit says, don't make 7 soulmates in the aerospace engineer thing from WandaVision.
However, it's so weird that right now, after that, we are talking about Shankman directing the Fantastic Four. It's very weird how that works out.
And I don't remember what he means by aerospace engineer thing.
Yeah, okay.
Go
on.
I was gonna say it was what was episode 5, episode 6.
I believe it was. Let's see. It was when she went back in. It was 5. You're right. It was 5 or 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah, 5 or 6. Where basically she said she had this aerospace engineer that they could ask for help, and people were theorizing it's either Mr. Fantastic or Blue Marvel. That was something that people were doing, and it turned out to be nothing. So I think that's what he means. So
also, basically, it was like was the devil again? Mephisto gag.
Yeah, it's a Mephisto thing. But again, they literally had the whole Mephisto thing with different characters on that one. I think the real question was like, hey, someone's building space-related stuff and it's traveling dimensions and gives people powers. That sounds like it could line up with the Fantastic Four.
Mm-hmm.
All right, moving on.
Yes.
So why did Wong break him out, and why is he doing underground fights with Wong?
It is a really good question. I mean, actually, something that has occurred to me. I did not think of until this moment. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
Okay, so Blonsky's all namaste, and he's all spiritual. He's gotten spiritual and everything.
Maybe
what if Wong was the outlet for that? What if he wrote what if he somehow wrote Wong, or somehow got in contact with Wong, and he kind of through the kind of teachings of Kamartaj and finding balance and everything. That's how he got to know him, and he broke him out for the fights.
It's just kind of funny that they talk about like all namaste, peace, and all that, then underground fights.
Yeah,
it's fun in episode 3. But yeah, sorry, what were you going to say, Blue Dragon?
Well, I was getting at is perhaps Wong, because again, we never showed that post-credit scene, so because of that, perhaps Wong was how through the kind of spiritualism is how he was able to find like a way to turn back into human form, which again the Hulk up. Which obviously the Hulk, had struggled with and still struggling with.
But how did Wong come into contact with Blonsky in the first place?
That is the mystery. I mean, the only logic I have is that whoever's in charge of the prison. I mean, perhaps via Fury or something. Maybe Fury put him in contact with Wong, but how would Fury know Wong? That's the question.
Yeah.
Because the sorcerer seemed pretty well hidden until Doctor Strange.
Ed March says this.
Yes, we need the Hotel California.
we need Wong for that. Shang-Chi's probably still the best installment of Phase 4 so far.
Yeah. Well, maybe. Multiverse of Madness is still a lot of fun, man. So obviously, and there's no way home.
And the common link between all of those.
Yeah, no, true. No, you're not wrong.
Is Wong.
yeah, he's in all those. He is. Yeah.
It's like, what does that say?
It says we should be paying Benedict Wong more money. That's what it really says.
Exactly. And he's in this. It's like we do things by the book. Book of Ashanti. No, the book of U.S. law.
So one thing I'm wondering is, where's Doctor Strange during all this? Like,
well, he's I'm sorry, I'm Mutale, keep going.
No, I was just gonna say, yeah, because we know Wong's gonna be here, so I'm just wondering what's Strange doing.
Well, presumably, and it's a question of time-wise where things are happening at this moment, because remember, he is in Shang-Chi. We see him walking back into She-Hulk, so we know that happens before She-Hulk. I mean, I know it goes without saying, because obviously all this is like, the video is just leaked and everything. But the point being, if things are happening in a linear way right now, that would imply Doctor Strange is off in the midst of Doctor Strange 3 right now, because he walked through that portal with Klee.
Oh yeah,
so that might be where he's at right now, assuming we're just going off the understanding. Okay, so Wong's still doing sorcerer stuff while Doctor Strange is now off on his next adventure that we're going to check in with probably a year or so from now. Well, years from now.
Abe March and Rohit actually have things to say. It's like the Wong cinematic universe is what we're here for.
Yeah, not a guy with pointy ears, no.
Once you go Wong,
you never go wrong.
It's nice.
Like, Wong supremacy.
I wonder if we're going to stay. I wonder if we're going to have different guest stars in every episode or not. Because I wonder if that's even attainable. Because
I think that's the plan, actually.
Well, I know they're planning to have a lot of guest stars, but I wonder if they can keep it up, like have a new guest star each episode. Because the first episode you have Hulk, second episode you got we have Abomination.
I mean, I think from the looks of things, he's going to be more, because Mark Ruffalo is listed as special guest star, but Tim Roth was just listed as just like and starring in and with an and. So it seems like he's probably going to be more of a regular than Mark Ruffalo was.
Who?
Tim Roth, I said.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, it's his case. Of course, he's going to be around for a few episodes. But I'm just saying, in terms of like character introduction wise, though, it's like he's introduced in this episode. He fills the spot of like new guest star who's going to then become a regular.
All right.
And then what I'm saying, do you think we can keep this up for like the remaining episodes? Because we know we got Wong for another one, and we have Daredevil for another one beyond that. Fingers crossed for Jessica Jones.
That'd be
Jessica Jones maybe is in. I think Echo. In Echo, like when it was confirmed, Charlie Cox is going to be it, that he's looking for Jessica Jones, so she could be there. And then Luke Cage and Frank Castle, I don't know.
Ed March brings up a Foggy Nelson appearance. So that is a question. Okay, Mutale, let me get your view on this while we have you on for this one. Okay?
Sure.
Do you think She-Hulk will be going to New York after she deals with this Abomination case, and that'll be like her coming up against her bumping into Daredevil and Matt Murdock, because obviously Daredevil traditionally based in New York? Or do you think a case like this Leapfrog guy, who we've kind of seen glimpses of, do you think somehow like him going, like, do you think he's like a big enough deal that he's going to go over to LA and Daredevil's going to follow him all the way to Los Angeles?
I think she may go to New York. I don't know.
Either way, even if we just take the exception for some reason, in general, do you think Daredevil's heading to LA, or do you think we're taking her to New York?
I don't know. Maybe probably go to New York.
And I don't know. From what I've heard in like interviews and read and stuff, it's like apparently they had like creative freedom to do with the character what they wanted, but the only mandate was that he had to be in the yellow costume.
I did hear that. I did read that. Yes, which that tells me one of two things. That tells me one, let's give people what they've been looking for, in which again we're going classic Daredevil costumes, and my hope is that grand scheme we're building to the DD on the red suit. Like we're gonna find a new way to do it.
Definitely.
Like, we're building height because he still doesn't have those D's on this yellow suit. By the way, we got to give him the D's on the red suit.
Mm-hmm.
Secondly, another way of looking at it, and this might be a nail in a coffin to a degree. If we the yellow suit might be their way of completely breaking from the of showing, okay, there's the Daredevil in the Netflix show, which we're going to treat like a multiversal kind of like version, and then we're going to have our version, which will be new costumes.
Yeah, I was also gonna say, like, is this gonna finally explain, like, okay, is this like the Netflix Daredevil, or is this just like a different version but similar? That's another thing I was wondering.
Yeah. I can go into the whole Zapruder thing I have like cooked up about the whole like whether Daredevil's in canon or not, because I have like those cufflinks from Hawkeye, which they are from the Daredevil show, but he would not technically be wearing those cufflinks at that time. But then I don't bore you with all that stuff.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah,
maybe this, when he shows up, we'll know, or we guess we have to wait to Daredevil, because I think by the time of his show, I think they kind of have to explain that. I don't think they can just keep having it be vague.
Ed March's
or even Echo, because he's also going to be in that.
I think we'll absolutely know what's going on by Echo. That's what I think. Because again, Kingpin's going to definitely. We need. The big tell for us will be what the deal is with Vanessa. If Vanessa's around and she's still in play, that will tell us that the original series happened.
Mm-hmm.
If we're saying no Vanessa, then clearly it's a new ball game.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Aid March says they can't keep him in yellow for Born Again, which is true. Yeah, we got to definitely read him up for that.
Which will be over 10 episodes.
Yeah, it will be. It'll be like 18 episodes, right?
Yep.
18 episodes. Yellow. I just want to say I don't like how it looks good so far. Like I was worried it could potentially look too goofy and not translate, but I think they did a good job.
I mean, I like the idea of the yellow suit, considering that's how he originally looked.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if we're gonna have like a heartfelt moment where She-Hulk's like maybe like saying, "Why the yellow and red?" He says, "My father's colors."
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
He's a very
there's always the gag. Wait a minute, this is yellow.
oh yeah, that's what happened.
It's like because he's blind. Because he's blind.
or another way you can go about it is She-Hulk just points out to the audience, "I know it should be red. Just go with it."
Didn't expect the yellow suit to be Netflix suit just repainted.
Essentially that's the thing. If you look at them, it is literally it's the exact same model of suit with the headpiece and everything. It is just they've just added accents of yellow in places. So
and also maybe we should move forward from all the speculation.
We should. I'm sorry. There's kind of a kryptonite on the She-Hulk podcast because obviously we're most looking forward to Daredevil. So always the Daredevil speculation kind of pounces upon us. So we got to steer away from that. Anyway, back to the She-Hulk thing. She takes the Abomination's case because she's actually touched by his plight, but more so she actually sees like there is some legal wrongdoing. Like we hoisted the Hulk up and gave him the second chance and everything. Abomination, we just kind of locked away, and we kind of turned the guy into a Hulk and did not take responsibility for it. So there's actually some legal kind of outrage there. She runs it by Bruce. Bruce, apparently he's all cool with Abomination, and I wrote him a letter and everything. We're cool.
Maybe he's one of the 7 pen pals too.
Entirely, yeah, that's the thing with it's possibly him and Wong potentially pen pals.
And then Hulk's off to who knows where.
Well, he's in a Sicarian spaceship.
Yeah, it's
that much we know.
And so he's either off to Sakaar for an adaptation of Planet Hulk or something like that. Or
a while ago, I think there was some rumored are we giving the Hulk a Planet Hulk
a World War Hulk
show?
Good night, cinema. Good night, Cinema Arts.
Take care, buddy. We're about to wrap up.
Okay.
Let's see. Oh yes, Rohit points out there's a room full of comics, which is it's a gag from it's kind of a meta gag from the She-Hulk run, where they have a bunch of the She-Hulk back issues.
All right, and just after she And just after she decides to take his case and calls Bruce to confirm, he's broken out of prison.
Well, no, he's still in prison, but she finds out that he had broken out of prison.
Yes, and he's broken out of prison, and there's no word from his attorney.
Yep.
and she looks at the screen. She's like, "This sucks."
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. This is what I love about the She-Hulk character. Much like Spider-Man, she has terror. She's the worst luck in the Marvel universe. That's why I think she'd get along great with Jessica Jones. I think that's how you do that characters. Like you have this trio of characters that are just the worst luck ever in Marvel, and they're kind of the punching bags, and we roll with them, and we root for them because of this.
Back in the comics, Jessica Jones once knew Spider-Man.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think that would line up considering the character's ages. Considering
now, no. I'm just saying traditionally, yes.
I mean, if they use Kristen Ritter again for this, I mean, that wouldn't line up.
Well, even so, Jessica Jones was older in the comics, so Jacob, technically, it only lined up for Spider-Man. Yeah, he's in kind of like it never truly. If you ever overthought it, never truly lined up because the whole Spider-Man being around since the '60s, Jessica Jones would be it's a whole thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, oh well.
Yep. But so it's the kind of a womp moment for She-Hulk, and we'll see what happens next. And yes, the Jess and Jen, sarcastic PI, snarky lawyer. Yes, they'd be great pals and great drinking pals. That's why I want her to show up in She-Hulk, but I don't know if we tried to ink on the deal with Kristen Ritter yet, so I don't know. Who knows what's going to happen? Probably Echo. Smart money.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we have Vincent and Charlie.
I know we do.
And they even got Kristen back for the Disney Plus announcement. So.
That is a good omen.
And I know that I don't know if they got Charlie in there for that, but and I know they didn't get Mike Coulter, but he's also a busy guy. So
they did get Charlie Cox for the announcement. They didn't get Mike Coulter.
And they didn't get Mike. They got someone else. They got one of the ladies from the show to do the announcement, and I don't know if they got Finn Jones either. They probably did.
Oh yeah.
Right. Mutale.
Yeah.
What's up?
Well, I'm sorry. I was gonna pull the comment, Jacob. Let's see what it says.
Ramello, this one, he's responding to this. If Bruce Banner does get his own ever She-Hulk, I'd like to see the origin from the Incredible Hulk opening credits and flashbacks with Betty, but show Mark Ruffalo being exposed to the gamma rays. And wouldn't that feel like an episode of the Mando book, episode of Book of Boba Fett, stealing too much thunder from the main character of the series?
Well, what's funny is that we do know there's like one brief thing we saw in the trailer in which they are kind of dressed like they are from the '78 Incredible Hulk show. Which I love that show and I love that idea, so I'm all for that. If they do it, at the very least, they do like kind of a legal ad that is entirely at the opening of the Incredible Hulk. That'd be great.
It'd be funnier. It would be more funny if they got Edward Norton to come back. It's just Edward Norton.
Never in a million years would he agree with that.
No, that would even be more funny if it's just like it's just Edward Norton again.
Better yet, let's see. Let's see.
Or like
multiverse.
If she like sees a clip from that movie or something where he's being played by Norton, and she's like, "Who's that?"
Can you imagine like a multiversal gag of like you have the Edward Norton Bruce Banner and you have Terrence Howard War Machine?
No, that'd be perfect. That would be perfect.
Just says, hey guys, what did we miss?
It's like, wait a minute.
Just have them show up for Secret Wars with Eric Banner's Hulk.
Yeah.
Bro, you're gonna get a guy that looks like Edward Norton called Nedward Horton.
I think the biggest guest star we could hope to get here, not big, but I mean in terms of in terms of we've been waiting for this character big. Tim Blake Nelson returning as the leader. That would be the biggie. It's like finally after all that time, yes.
Yeah, I now really want them all in Secret Wars.
Yeah.
And of course, I think a lot of people are hoping for obviously Deadpool, of course.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I believe me, it'd be too perfect he showed up in She-Hulk. He's not showing up in She-Hulk.
Yeah. Well, at least not this season.
I mean, that's just people like probably wishful thinking, getting their hopes up. But And so they don't get mad. It's like you promised Deadpool. Like, no, they never promised Deadpool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Or she shows up in Deadpool 3.
I mean, that'd be that would be good. Again, honestly, what I would be can also be kind of good is again we're doing like the whole people are bringing up Hulk versus Wolverine, which again, if you're gonna bring back Hugh Jackman, or at the very least you're gonna introduce a new guy playing Wolverine, the way you do it is you put whoever you got playing Wolverine in the yellow suit, and you put him and have him fight the Hulk.
Yeah.
Who knows?
But a returned Hulk, like not smart Hulk, you have him return to being like kind of the brutish Hulk.
I wonder
Savage.
if the Sakarans would also abduct Wolverine.
That would be. Imagine if that was your World War Hulk show, in which Wolverine gets abducted and like somehow they kind of made the Hulk savage again.
Yeah.
And,
well, Mark Ruffalo said he could see him becoming. What did he say? Savage Hulk and.
Did he say Gray Hulk or Savage Hulk?
He said both, either Savage Hulk or World War Hulk. That's what he said in an interview.
Huh.
Oh, sorry, Romello Malone. And Liv Tyler would be possible, but unfortunately, William Hurt is dead, so he won't be able to come back.
True.
Yeah.
Yep.
As unfortunate as much as we would like to see Thaddeus Ross come back, it's not going to happen unless they decide to recast him.
Mm-hmm.
Have Hulk versus Wolverine be a legal case in which Jen and Matt Murdock as their respective attorneys.
Oh god, that's a hilarious idea. Dear God, but yeah.
Do I know Wolverine is one of the only X-Men characters they need to wait until 2025 to use?
Well, I mean, if that thing is true, which I'm thinking it might be. If that's true, then yes, they would have to wait to use Wolverine. So
Yeah, because
I mean,
can't use the X-Men until then.
I mean, obviously Easter eggs. Who knows? Maybe we'll see an X-Men announcement at D23.
I mean, if you think about this though, if I recall, the arrangement is you have to use the same actors until that time. So it's not that we can't use the X-Men; we have to use the same actors.
Yeah, you have to use the same actors.
If we squeeze in a Deadpool movie, we could have Hugh Jackman Wolverine.
Wait, so if that's the case, is that why Patrick Stewart was in Multiverse? Because they had to use him?
I mean, assuming that whole thing is true. If that's true, then that's why they couldn't get another guy to play Professor X. Yeah.
Okay. And then it's probably just because his performance of Professor X is so iconic.
It's also the main reason is because Professor X is part of the Illuminati. It's like
of course.
And of course Patrick Stewart's iconic as him, of course.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
True.
I mean, it's like, can you imagine if it's like, oh, we could use we used him, but we could have brought in Patrick Stewart, but we decided to go with somebody else.
Yeah.
It'd be great. It'd actually be insane if they're like, nope, he's also gonna be the MC Professor X as well. They just keep it for another decade.
You know who I've heard people throw out for Professor X?
Who?
Giancarlo Esposito.
Oh yeah.
I could see Giancarlo playing so many roles. Personally, I'd love to see him because.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be a great Doctor Doom, but.
That's the thing. I mean, Giancarlo as Doctor Doom or Magneto would be personally. Doctor Doom would be my pick because unfortunately, the perfect Doctor Doom is already taken. We used Mads Mikkelsen already as Caecilius, when he would have been the best Doctor Doom ever.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I love Giancarlo as an actor. He's a fantastic actor, but
yeah,
I just can't. He just doesn't see. He just wouldn't. I think he'd be wasted for Professor X.
I mean, yeah, it's. Impossible, but again, he'd have the charm and the regalness to play.
Well, I mean, I'm not denying that, but
all we know is Giancarlo has been offered he's holding out for a big role. A big role suggests like a Magneto or a Doctor Doom. So who knows?
Well, actually, for Doctor Doom,
Ramello poses a question. Why can't Marvel and Universal get along like them and Sony? Universal's wasting Hulk.
Well, to be fair, Marvel and Sony barely get along, but yes,
and it's already complicated as is.
Yeah.
So,
I hear your point, though. I take your point.
It's basically Sony wants to keep Spider-Man and all that.
And did you guys hear with Madam Web, what that's rumored to be? It's where it's about these spider people that have to protect an unborn Peter Parker and Uncle Ben. Did you hear that?
Honestly, I've not been following after Morbius. I've just not been following Madam Web at all because it's like seriously. And when I heard Madam Web announced, I think. Out of all the dumb ideas Sony's had, of all the essentially a geriatric superhero in a chair who really does not do anything in the story but sound mystical, who we're not even doing right there. It's like Madam Web doesn't do anything but be mystical and sit around, and we're giving her a movie.
Her best adaptation was in the animated series.
Yes, and she was wonderful there. She's a great, I'm saying,
Yeah,
by all means, give us Madam Web, but don't put her in a movie.
And didn't Joan Lee voice her?
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
she
perfect.
did.
It was so wonderful. Like I'm saying, get Helen Mirren to play Madam Web.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they should have.
Like get Helen Mirren to play Madam Web instead of you throwing her in Shazam. I'm not sure she's going to be good in that, but I'm just saying here, there, have her double dip, whatever.
Again, this is all fun discussion, but we haven't talked about She-Hulk in like 10 minutes.
Well, that's the thing.
Sorry. I just have to say, Adam Watch says the Sony also have Jessica Drew. I think Marvel has her, but she can't have spider powers. I think that's what it is.
Oh yeah.
Because this was funny to that. Yeah, but yeah, She-Hulk. Let's go back to She-Hulk.
We need She-Hulk to decipher all these legalese. We need her. Here's what we need for an episode. We need her and Kevin Feige in a courtroom together, going over, putting Feige or Sony or like Amy Pascal on the stand and going over this Marvel Sony contract. Okay, let's go.
Actually, you know what? Sorry. This we were talking about Spider. Well, in a way, I think the head writer did say they wanted to have Spider-Man in this, but they couldn't. Yeah. So yeah, it'd actually be hilarious if they actually do talk about that. If they do what you just said.
It's like they can obviously Disney Plus can do Spider-Man in animation, but they don't have rights to him in live action.
Which is
unless it's like a team up film, like the Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it really should be the other way around. Sony should only have Spider-Man in animation. Live action should go to Marvel.
Yeah.
I mean,
Sony is doing excellent with Spider-Man animation, but we're getting off topic again. But the reason is we've talked through all the episodes.
Like yeah, I mean, they obviously do well with Spider-Verse and all that, but and Marvel Studios is doing the Spider-Man films.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yes,
She-Hulk negotiates forays the Spider Family in the season finale.
Be the best finale ever of any of the Disney Plus shows. Best one.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's not going to happen.
No, of course not.
No.
It's like, I mean, the thing is, like, the movies for the Marvel, the Sony Marvel movies, the actors they choose are fine. It's just, I mean, it's just like they're just not that good.
It's like, hey, we can't have like, guys, this is good casting, but where's our conflict? Where's our Spider-Man? If we're gonna do a villain-centric movie, can they do anything without someone to fight? Can we even put Spider-Man as the in quotes villain of the movie for the villain and the hero spot, like switching perspectives? No. So what are they going to do? We're going to give them random vampire villains that I don't care about.
I mean, and they're also doing a Craven movie, which could work. But
I mean, yeah, I'm better than some of the others, but still, it's like.
Well, apparently he's Aaron Taylor Johnson said he's an animal lover instead of like a hunter that he's supposed to.
That's not instilling me with confidence.
That's not. I mean, if that might just be something he said tongue in cheekily, but
maybe
if he's not wearing that line, we're doing something wrong.
And maybe he becomes a hunter. He starts off as an animal lover, but then becomes a hunter.
See, here's a simple idea for a Craven movie. Okay, I hope everyone's listening. It's very simple. Okay,
he's a hunter.
You got Craven, right? And he hunts, right? And you know who he hunts? Spider-Man. Yes.
So this is a Spider-Man movie.
No. It's a Craven movie, and you're in a position of rooting for Craven, even though you shouldn't. And obviously, you don't want him to kill Spider-Man. But it's like, man, I'm intrigued by this guy, and we don't want him to succeed, but I care about him.
Actually, you know what?
They basically Craven's last hunt.
Pretty much. But less final.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, so if that's actually true and he's an animal lover, that's literally kind of missing the point of why he's, Craven the hunter.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Craven the manhunter. Then you have the green guy in the corner saying, wait, that's my name.
Yeah. Okay, like so we haven't talked about She-Hulk in like 10 minutes, so either we need to wrap this up, or or stop here.
All right. Do you have anything you want to add on She-Hulk, Jacob?
I mean, I'm looking forward to Thursday's episode and see. Hopefully, we get to see possibly Wong or even Daredevil in the next.
No,
episode.
we're not going to get Jacob. We're not going to get Daredevil to like the last 3 episodes, or the bare minimum, if we're lucky, episode 5 or 6.
That's why I said. That's why I said hopefully, Dragon.
Yeah. No, I know. I'm just saying because I'm with you, man. I'm hoping for that too, but I don't see it in the cards. But
Yeah. I am excited for Daredevil, but I am enjoying like Jen and stuff. So I'm personally okay with waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. Like I said, at least hopefully we at least get Wong. That's why I said.
Yeah, I think we're gonna get Wong, considering that we get the Shang-Chi thing where he was. So yeah, I think we'll get Wong this Thursday.
One last thing that does relate to She-Hulk, I want to bring up.
Wong Cinematic Universe.
Yes. So, bang the gong for Wong. So, so he's like, there's again, assuming Hulk, goes off. Basically, do you think we've seen the last of Hulk and he goes off to basically a World War Hulk ship potentially that we are not going to see him check in with later, or do you think? Because she does get a super suit at some point in this show, but she hasn't gotten it yet. I do wonder if, I wonder if she's going to, if that's going to be like delivered to her or something, or if that's like she's going to be given to it by someone other than the Hulk, or what?
Maybe she goes to Melvin Potter and he makes it for her.
Don't tease me like that, man. Don't do that to me. That'd be fantastic.
He also all the superhero lawyers.
Yeah. No, but seriously though, I mean, do you think it's going to be do you think someone else is going to make it, or do you think Hulk made it? Do you think he's going to come back?
Maybe.
That?
Ooh.
Do you think he's coming back from space? At least
I think he'll come back. Maybe he made it for
Maybe he's heading towards the Secret Wars.
But exactly, he might, for all we know, maybe be a little trip.
I guess considering that, like, he would like her to be a superhero, and then maybe she accepts it. Then, I think possibly may do that. Maybe.
Well, I mean that would kind of put Hulk out of commission for a whole phase, but we'll see. Unless they're announcing something, maybe they'll announce their partnership with Universal again.
Yeah, in D23, which is in next week
month.
Now? No, it's in September. It's
yeah, that's what I meant. I'm sorry. Yeah.
I mean September is like 4 days away.
Yeah, I know. Mm-hmm. My days are all jammed up.
So what? Mm-hmm. And if I remember correctly, it's like the 9th, the 10th, and 11th, I believe.
It's the 9th. Yeah, it is. It is.
It's like it's literally, it's actually 15 days before my vacation.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So we'll find out what, because I'm assuming there's going to be Marvel announcements there, and I think they said they're going to announce more stuff there. So
they will. Yeah, they are.
I'm hoping for a Deadpool announcement. I'll say that much.
It should come. I think it should happen by then.
Rohit Dar's confirming.
Yep.
9 through 11. Marvel panels 10 a.m. PST on September 10th.
Mm-hmm.
So for us that'd be 1 p.m.
Mm-hmm. I don't know what time it'd be there for me.
Well, Dragon and I are EST.
Okay.
Right.
Sorry, just want to see what it said. Sorry, just want to read. He did say, well, sorry, just to briefly go back to the Sony thing. It would be cool if Kraven the Hunter took the role of Morlon and the Inheritors in the Spider-Verse story and hunt Spider-Man in other universes. They may do that. Maybe they may do that.
That would be kind of cool. I guess, you guys remember Morlun, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know he's a character.
Well, no, he basically killed Spider-Man in the comics. He was going after Ezekiel and everything. And
I know about that.
As long as they don't try and do the Clone Saga.
Right.
And also, Romello said, hoping not sort of MCU Spider-Man 4. I think that's up to Sony. Marvel can't announce that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, I think that's about time for the wrap-up, unless we have any more.
So just one more. Adam Ott said maybe Reed Richards made it. And
in terms of making She-Hulk suit, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just wanted to read that comment.
Be cool, but highly doubtful.
Yeah, doubtful.
Yep.
All right, well, that'll do it for us this week. Oh, well,
Mhm.
first off, I want to thank the lovely folks who joined us this
Yeah.
evening. We got
Ramella Malone, Aid March, Rohit, and of course, Cinema Arts 87.
yeah, and Mutale too.
And
Yeah,
Mutale.
it was great.
We
Great
had
to be back.
we had a very lively discussion in these comments.
Yeah,
It's kind of strange. Like sometimes we don't have any comments, and then we have a whole bunch of them.
yeah, you never know.
Yes, I forgot to ask this because it came late. Where's Tiki?
Tiki's I don't know, he's not he's kind of hands off with She-Hulk right now at the moment, so he just didn't want to come on for it.
Okay.
He basically noped out of it.
Pretty much, like he'll come on for at least one episode, but it's just not really for the duration.
Okay.
Kind of like Obi-Wan.
Yeah, he's chickening out pretty much. That's I'll call him out. He's a big fat chicken. Yeah.
Just kidding. We're just kidding, guys.
Yeah. All right. So that'll do it for us this week as we holster our emotes till the next installment calls for the draw, Mano y Mano, Just Plus, and us.
Wong Cinematic Universe.